high. Survive 5.
Hall of Famer Tito Santana.
Built 5 Wrestling Gold.
Stuff is enjoy wrestling all.
Wedding by Jeans, bro.
What's your opinion? And something like that than I have ever found.
I broke a promise already with that intro. I said I would never, ever have Vince Russo on this show. Damn it, Aaron, you broke that promise.
Well, I'm wedding my jeans, bro.
Dear God.
Come on.
We're in for it tonight, folks. Welcome back to another episode of the Joe Monroe Show. I'm your host, Joe Monroe. I can't talk tonight. As always.
Get it together, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Lord, did you said the F word more times tonight already than you did a year ago?
Well, shit. Fuck, damn it. I don't care.
What did you start drinking again? What happened?
Yes, actually, I did. I started drinking again. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Anywho, as always with me, the wizard CZ, the best wizard in podcasting, the only wizard in podcasting. And our special guest, if you haven't noticed, is the one, the only, very notorious ATB. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Crystal, how you doing?
It's me, ATB. Welcome back to the Learning Tree. I'm here to help guide you all into the world of professional wrestling. When Joe said he wanted to cover what could be with Bret Hart, I was like, dude, you should have me on because I can do fantasy booking all day long.
And I was like, what the hell? Come on.
Yeah. So here we are.
Love it. Yep.
And let's remember that Joe and I never really had any issues.
No,
I was always with Joe.
No, me and Aaron knew each other for years. Yeah.
Yeah. It was always till 510 or just 10 credible that wanted to whine and complain about Joe. So
let's not get into that right now. I mean,
1 year later, we're reunited and it feels so good.
What the heck is up with these reunions? I just had one with Alex not too long ago too.
Well, Alex has some big news rolling through in about 2 weeks for his show. So,
all right. Well, let's get right into the subject tonight. This is something that's been pondering on my mind for a couple of months now. The biggest what if. I know we did something similar to this on the No So Roundtable not too long ago. I want to change my answer from that. The biggest what if is the subject tonight, and that is, what if WCW did right by Bret Hart? How would Bret Hart have succeeded in WCW? Not that he didn't already, but it could have been a heck of a lot better. Let's face it, gentlemen.
Oh, by far, it could have been worlds better. And let me just start off. If we're talking about what if with Bret Hart, fuck Bill Goldberg.
Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on. So let's remember that Bret wrestled against Terry Funk, Ric Flair, Kurt Hennig, and several other house shows after Bill Goldberg kicked him. Bret's career ended because Bret got hurt riding a bicycle. It's not Bill Goldberg's fault. So let's get that straight right here, right now.
Sorry, Aaron, but CZ's. Oh, Jesus.
You're on vacation, kid. What are you doing here?
Anywho, I do got some rules I want to set. So first things first, it's got to start with Starrcade. No, that's a starter right there.
Starrcade
97.
97. Okay.
But we can book that just a little bit differently. And another thing is actually the kicked from Heard Around the World from Bill Goldberg. That stays in too. And we can fix that.
Absolutely.
And we can fix that. All right. So let's start off. Starrcade 97. Bret was brought in to be the special enforcer, referee, whatever, for Eric Bischoff going up against Larry Zbyszko. And I just want to make a real quick side note. How the hell has Larry Zbyszko at this point in time kept in somewhat decently good shape?
Well, he's a living legend for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have that. You have like Bischoff that looks like a middle schooler coming out of karate class, or kickboxing class.
Because he is.
Yeah, and then you, sorry, Eric, but then you have
I'm gonna apologize to him.
the living legend. Hey,
Fuck
I love
him.
Eric Bischoff. Living legend. Then here's Bret Hart that looks like he just came out of a saloon in Canada.
A saloon from Saskatoon.
Possibly.
Ooh.
So we're going to keep that because I thought that was kind of that was a decent way to bring him in. But I would keep him out of the main event picture. He does not get involved with Sting and Hogan. I wouldn't do it.
In my version, I'm going to let Bret not only get involved in the main event, but Bret's going to be the reason that Hogan ends up losing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the screw job's going to be at Super Brawl when Bret cheats to beat Sting for the belt and joins the NWO.
Ooh. So I got him joining the NWO too around that time. CZ, what's your start off for Bret?
So with me, I would not even announce him before Starrcade. People know that he's coming in, but they don't know when. Have it build up until Starrcade, and then when everyone is expecting it and he doesn't show up, he's right there at the last possible moment.
So CM Punk, basically.
Yeah.
Well, he did it first. Okay.
Yeah, I would equate it to CM Punk at Survivor Series.
So you want to build it without admitting that Bret's going to be there.
Exactly.
Okay.
That would be a good way too.
I think because people, like I said, people know that he's on his way over there, but they keep expecting him week in and week out. But
it would be really easy to have done that. You could have had Bishop. You could have had Larry Zbyszko say that he had been talking to an old friend from Canada to come in and referee the match. Problem solved.
Fair enough.
You have him start walking out with a Canadian flag. Like it would be hilarious. It would be the most obvious. Like he's coming.
I can agree with that.
Let's admit, back then, you would have had to have been that obvious about it because you didn't have the internet to help build the speculation.
Right.
Fair enough. I can concede that point. But yeah, I wouldn't even mention his name until he walks out from behind that curtain.
Nope.
Don't need to. He's big enough that you don't need to.
And I want to say one thing. He shows up with the leather jacket, but he has to have on a referee shirt.
Yeah.
Like, come on. He comes out as a referee in a referee shirt. He referees the match. Bischoff can start whining, and then Bret he pulls out his license for the night. And that makes it easy for him to show up. And even that way you get to cover up Nick Patrick's not a slow count.
Yeah.
Right.
By having the big reveal that Bret was in on it all along. They knew that Sting was going to be a problem, so they needed somebody to get close to him.
Yeah. So we can all. So here's something that I think we need to ask if we can agree upon. That whole debacle thing that they did with the world title after Starrcade, where Sting had that was God. Can we just forget that never happened, right?
Stricken from the record.
Okay, good. I think we all can wish we could erase that from wrestling history.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, we can jump straight to Super Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
And just like you can go ahead and have Bret take on Flair at Sold Out because that's not really showing an allegiance to either side.
Nope.
NWO or WCW, it's an old rival he had. He can always ride that line. And then Super Brawl, he turns on Sting.
And joins the NWO.
Joins the NWO. He turns on Sting and gets the belt back on Hogan. Tell me a better way to have the crowd boo him.
That would be a good way, too.
Yeah.
But now, would you put the strap on Hogan? Or would you have the strap on Bret?
Earlier, I had said Bret, but I really think that putting it back on Hogan is the better heel move.
Mm-hmm.
And then you still get to have Goldberg take the belt from Hogan.
Here's my big problem with that. I like the scenario, but here's my problem. Let's go back to WrestleMania 9, and that's not going to work for me, brother. Bret got screwed there, too. And you're having him align himself with the guy that screwed him over for the WWF title?
For now.
For now.
I smell what he's cooking up here.
For now.
Okay. I'm here for the ride, but that's my biggest problem is this guy completely hosed Bret.
Bret does not know the lay of the land of WCW right now. He is in totally new territory. My move would be to have Bret come in and let him not be the top dog in the NWO, but let him be around Hogan, Hall, Nash, hang out with them, be seen with them, part of the guys. And then after Goldberg takes the belt from Hogan, he runs through Hennig. He can run through Nash. I don't let him beat Nash. And then when he takes on Bret, you have the big reveal of Hall and Nash are helping him win the belt.
Ooh, I like that.
And then from there, the next night on Nitro, you have Hogan come out for his finger poke of doom. And he poked Bret in the chest, and then Bret just lay him out.
It's a turn.
It is Bret, Hall, and Nash as the NWO beating up Hulk Hogan, who thought he was going to swerve everybody. And that lets you rebuild Hulk Hogan because that was coming anyways. That was going to be 3 months down the line. The fans were already starting to turn into fans of Hogan again.
Yeah.
So go ahead and start pulling that trigger early. Bischoff's problem was that he waited on everything. That is the one thing that I will give Vince Russo all the credit in the world for. This is writing television. You have to tell the story. You have to have something on the line for it to make sense. So that world title should be the best prop to make everything make sense. The world champion controls the company. That's the goal of the world title. So now you have Bret Hart with the world title flanked by Hall and Nash. Shit.
Then
Bret
can actually be the hitman persona. See, that's what always killed me with that. Bret, they had a chance for Bret to pull out the hitman, like an actual freaking wrestling hitman. He was a technical wrestler anyways, so it was perfect. But again, ATB said it, they didn't execute it. They didn't pull the trigger. They should have right after Starrcade, I think.
No, and you got to remember there are some breaks there that you have to give Bret because of the Owen situation. You know, you have to have that caveat in there. So you've got moments in the timeline that have to happen for Bret personally.
Yep.
So you get to Bret screwing over Goldberg. Goldberg can kick him in the head. He can get the concussion.
Takes off.
Because now he's got the NWO to flank him and take the load off.
Okay.
Yep.
You roll into Sold Out. You've got Sid Vicious lined up.
Do we lose him?
Have Benoit running his little gauntlet against an NWO member in Jeff Jarrett. Hey, I would go ahead and just let it be known that Jeff's part of the group too at this point.
Might as well.
So, yeah. So you have Benoit win that gauntlet. You have Bret retain against Sid.
Mm-hmm.
And you start building to Bret versus Benoit. Because they just fought at the Owen Memorial Show last year. They just fought at Mayhem last year. It's all been building to those two guys. And that way you have a good wrestler that for all his head problems, Benoit and Bret, those two guys could work together and not hurt each other.
Exactly.
And that's arguably the greatest match in wrestling history. Technical match. Greatest technical match in wrestling history right there.
Agreed.
I will always say I don't condone what happened with Benoit, but I will never doubt his in-ring ability. He was an amazing performer.
Dude, you have to separate the person from when the camera's on and when the camera's off.
Yeah.
And that's a real hard thing for Marks to do. I said it.
Well, before we get on into it, we actually got the wrestling news coming up, folks. Yes, speaking of Marks, my brother Mark's about to do the wrestling news. Again, please don't judge me. He's not rotting ahead. So let's go ahead. Let's move forward with Mark's wrestling news. Go ahead and take it away, Marky.
The following announcement has been paid for by Teal 510.
Good evening, Teal Fivers, and good evening, Joe Monroers, or whatever all five of you guys call yourself. My name is Teal 510. Some of you know me as Just 10 Credible, and if you're a fan of Teal 5 Wrestling, or you're in this podcast bubble, you maybe saw me storm off of Teal 5 Wrestling episode 12. I stormed off the set when I found out that Joe Monroe would be ATB's co-host on episode 13 while I'm trying to enjoy my vacation. Now, I've not answered any phone calls, I've not answered any texts, and I've been kind of pondering what's next for me as I sit here in this undisclosed location in the beautiful country of Canada, which ATB and Joe are not welcome in, or Mark. But I wanted to clear the air, and I wanted to air my grievances live right here, right now for everybody to hear, so I'll start here. We'll just get right through it. Fuck you, WWE. Fuck you, Bill Goldberg. Fuck you, ATB, for what you've done and allowing Joe Monroe to walk in to my land, our land. Fuck you, Joe, but more importantly, fuck your shitbag brother, Mark Monroe. But fuck you for making your little shitbag brother possible. He's nothing but a mark. And I know that's his name, but he's a fucking mark. And this business has nothing for marks like your brother. And I will not stop until he's done. Over. Period. Now, I've been very angry, and like I said, I've been pondering my next move. What's next for me? What's next for Teal 510? What's next for Teal 5 Wrestling going forward? And I've been thinking about how I can even the odds here, and I think if I called a friend, it would just be too easy, you know? So instead, I called a brother, and we'll get to that very soon. But before we do, I'd also like to say, fuck the Insane Clown Posse. What a bunch of disgusting debutantes, drug addict, hepatitis-ridden shitbags. Disgusting. What you guys have allowed to happen to this podcasting bubble, what you guys have allowed to happen to this wrestling business, I'm not into it. This business is better off without Joe Monroe, without Mark Monroe. I am the one. And I'll see you very soon. Retribution is coming. Top Beard, out.
Whoa.
Obviously, that wasn't the wrestling news. Don't know what the heck happened there.
You had a hostile takeover, and it sounds like you guys got some heat there, Joe.
Somebody check on ATB. I think he fell asleep.
Look, man, I'm tired. And I worked with children that couldn't even manage a vapor store. Let's be honest. He wants to whine and complain about you coming on the show. Lord, he wanted a week off, so I gave him a week off. What did I do? I tagged in Joe Monroe. The dude helped us out in the beginning, so here we are. You know, we're going to get to talk about ICP on the show. Why? Because Tan's afraid to talk about ICP. He's afraid of the juggalos and the juggalettes. God.
Whoop, whoop. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to talk about ICP.
Same.
They deserve more credit than they've gotten. You know, we will actually talk about Bill Goldberg and be fair about it.
We are.
Yeah, we are. We're going to talk about Bill Goldberg as a in-ring performer and be fair about it, because you and I can be professionals about it. We're not kids.
Okay, you're right.
You're not going to go storming off because you heard somebody's going to be on there.
Well, I don't have a response for it, so
You know, while he's in Tennessee, you know where I think he should head to?
Canada, wherever the
I
hell
think
that
he
is?
should head to see my good friends at Green Hemp Company, because they're rolling in the Smokies. They're rolling in the foothills of the Smokies from 9 a.m. until 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. Sundays. You can go see them at 2560 East Andrew Johnson Highway, Suite 3 in Greenville, Tennessee, or call them at 423-609-7138. I'm glad that Joe picked up on the hint finally.
Sorry, man. I guess I must have bought from there recently. My bad.
It happens. They're quality products from quality people.
My bad.
That's what you can ask for, right? Quality products from quality people.
That's right. Green Hemp Company. They're good people. That's where Tan should be heading, because he's whining and complaining that, oh God, Joe Monroe's going to appear. He'll be all right.
Starting to sound like Austin.
Relax.
Dunn.
Relax, guy. Take a seat.
You did not.
Yeah, did. We went there.
Ah, damn it. Where's Mike D when I need him for an Agent Orange joke?
You know, let's get back to Bret here. That's what we're here for.
Please.
We're professionals. Let's compose ourselves.
Oh, God.
Now that we've been interrupted by Tanny the Kid, take a rest. See, she knows.
These kids. Anyway, so we can agree that Bret's now the new leader of the NWO.
Bret Hart is leading the NWO. Hulk Hogan is starting to build back up
to his yellow and red attack, whatever.
Yeah, at this point you can because thanks to Bret at Starrcade, you can have Bischoff retain control as president, and then you can have Flair take that from Bischoff at Uncensored instead of that stupid steel cage first blood match.
That means we're not going to get the Fun B Hogan. Dang it.
The what?
The Fun B. FUNB.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Oh, okay.
That's a year later. Come on, man.
Oh, I thought we was wiping out the whole, yeah.
No, we are saying that Hogan, well, crap.
Yeah. See where I went with that, right?
Okay. So let's backtrack here. Damn it, Bobby. Yeah, Tan got me off track. So, going back, we let Goldberg keep the belt over Kevin Nash. Long reign as champion.
Yep.
We have Bret finally take the belt from him at Starrcade 99.
Mm-hmm.
So, Uncensored
2000.
Uncensored 2000. So, yeah, we would have never had crazy President Ric Flair, I guess.
No, thank God.
Huh.
Oh, geez, yeah.
We would have saved so many bad storylines by doing this.
And Bret Hart's career. Because I'm telling you, because I know if leading up to this, I don't think WCW would have been bought out.
You wouldn't have had the finger poke of doom in early 99.
Yep, we would not.
So you would have had Goldberg just go ahead and beat. Honestly, I would let him run with Bam Bam for his next world title opponent. I guess that's the problem with fantasy booking is we got to tie all the strings now.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have him run through Bam Bam.
Yep.
and then he can continue running through other members of the NWO
until he gets to Bret.
Until he gets to Bret at Starrcade 99. Man, that's letting Goldberg have the belt for a long time.
Yeah, but that adds on to, I hate saying it, but that adds on to Goldberg, which at that time he was white hot at the time.
And the trick would be, oh man, okay. So we admitted that the Owen tragedy has to happen.
Yes.
Yes.
So that means that the Benoit match has to happen there.
Yes.
We can take Bret out of the NWO during this period.
Yep.
That still allows him to be tag team champions with Goldberg. That still you insert somebody else into the Sting beatdown at Halloween Havoc is all you have to change here.
Who would you replace it with?
Why not do Kurt Hennig?
Oh yeah, Kurt Hennig never got his fair due in WCW.
Yeah, I mean, let him have a mid-card run with Sting. That's fun. And then you let Bret and Benoit are the finals of the Mayhem tournament.
Mhm.
Mayhem tournament, whatever. Bret goes on and wins the title at Starrcade, thanks to all the NWO shenanigans, which are going to make fans hate him even more because you had 6 months of Bret teasing he was NWO.
Yep.
And then you had 6 months of Bret teasing that he was on WCW's side. It would work even better. We no longer have some stupid Hogan and Flair shenanigans. We just go ahead and get Hulk Hogan to come back and try to take down the NWO.
And that would also give Bret time to be his actual Hitman persona, like I said, should have happened. So that works perfectly.
Yeah, he gets to lead them like he was leading the Hart Foundation, which, let's admit, if Bret's leading the NWO, you're going to have not Hart and Bulldog in the NWO then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
well,
sure.
Actually, I'm sorry, but I guess not, because Bulldog would have still gotten hurt.
Yeah, damn trapdoor.
Yeah. Oh, well. We would have had Neidhart in the NWO.
Yeah.
It would have been really funny.
He would be like Bret's answer to the Disciple as Hogan.
Yeah, it would have been hilarious to have seen Bret and the Anvil against Hogan and the Disciple.
Oh, God. Sadly, I think that would be a decent match.
That would have been a lot of fun. Because they did those stupid tag team matches at Bash at the Beach every year.
Well, yeah.
That would have been a perfect time to have done it right there.
Yeah, I
can buy that.
I can buy. Yeah.
So we would have fixed a lot of things if we would have just.
Yeah, that would have been
giving Bret an opportunity. So then the question becomes.
Sorry.
What?
I was fixing that would be like during the tag match.
The question becomes
kind of like a reunion for the Hart Foundation, the original Hart Foundation.
Yeah, you have that be the Hart Foundation reunion against Hogan and the Booty Man, I guess.
I'd rather see Zodiac instead of the Disciple. Dang it, Nick.
He's never wrong, so gotta love him for that.
That could be fun. Like after Hulk Hogan is back, you have them kick out the Disciple. So he's running through all of his old gimmicks trying to figure out where he belongs.
You'll give him the Charlie Haas syndrome here?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You let him run as the Booty Man, and it be Hogan and what was it they called him at Starrcade? The Butcher.
Yes.
Yes. You let it be Hogan and the Butcher against the Anvil and the Hitman.
He's loving this too much.
Why not? And then when they lose that match, he can go off and become the Zodiac again. There we go. We're giving you what you want, Nick.
There you go, Nick. Oh man.
What happens when what happens when instead, do the Radicals still go?
I would say see, that had nothing to do with Bret. That was more of a backstage.
Yeah, and at this point, we are acknowledging that we're going to have Bret and Benoit be the storyline.
Oh, that would change that, at least
What
for
if
Benoit.
what if the Radicals jump, but not Benoit and Shane Douglas instead?
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I got
Shane
one
Douglas,
for you.
Shane Douglas still has that heat with McMahon, so
Let's admit that booking Bret right would change everything.
oh yeah.
Yep.
So the Radicals can stay. We have the NWO against the Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Benoit joins the Revolution. You've got Benoit, Saturn, Guerrero, Malenko, and Shane Douglas against Bret Hart, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Scott Steiner, Buff Bagwell, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Scott Norton, Masahiro, all these randos that they can call in.
And that's now question, that's how you would start kind of depleting the NWO one by one in a way?
Yeah, like you have Bret say, you know what, if you want to be part of this group, because Bret's going to have to take time off for his concussions.
Right.
If you want to be part of this group, then you're the one that has to take out Benoit at Spring Stampede.
Don't forget Vincent.
Vincent is not making it to a pay-per-view match. But you let it be Kurt Hennig. It be real simple, Kurt. If you want to stay in the NWO, you've got to take out Chris Benoit. And then you have a pay-per-view match of Benoit against Kurt Hennig.
Let's see. What's going on, Mike D?
I'm loving where this is going.
What to do, Mike D? So at this point, we no longer have the New Blood Rising event in the summer. We no longer have that stupid storyline where everybody hands over their belts.
Oh, thank God.
I will say I would definitely keep Lance Storm doing his Canadian champion storyline.
Yes,
Well,
that
of
was
course.
one of the very
He's
few
Lance
things
Storm. You
that
can't
went
take that away.
Here's the beauty. You do the Revolution storyline. You let that end. And from there, you can segue into the fact that while Bret's been dealing with these guys, Lance has been over here amassing all the belts. So Bret has to deal with Lance Storm coming into, I guess, Starrcade 2000?
Okay.
Which would be a lot of fun. You can have, Lance has gotten arrogant and gave his friends all the other belts. And he comes out with the Canadian Championship. And he wants to put it on the line, title versus title, against Bret Hart at Starrcade.
Battle of the Canadians.
The two greatest Canadian technical wrestlers, with the exception of Benoit, who Bret's already wrestled several times at this point. It'd be great.
We're getting some fantastic matches, and I got to ask you, we're getting close to 2001 here. I don't see in this scenario Vince buying out WCW. I don't see them staying with Turner because the AOL Time Warner people wanted nothing to do with wrestling.
Yeah.
Nope. But
we've already saved WCW from being bought out by Vince at this point, in my opinion.
Do what?
We've already saved WCW from being bought out by Vince at this point. There's no way that can happen.
I'd say be transferred over, kind of like how Eric's. Who was the partners he had with that was going to buy WCW? I can't remember.
The guys that were going to have it on ESPN.
Yeah. So those guys.
I can't remember the name of the company, but I know
And
who you're talking about.
Here's the thing that I think someone should have sat down Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo and explained to them. Bischoff should be the man making the business decisions for the company. Russo should be the one writing the storylines. Someone else should be booking the damn matches.
Okay. Yeah. Never mind.
You don't need to have all of that overlapping.
Kevin Sullivan.
Let Sullivan book them out. There is some credibility as long as Sullivan is retired from active wrestling.
Yes.
And at that point, I'm also going to say, dude, he'd fuck over Benoit, and you know it. That's part of the reason Benoit left.
Well, shit, that's a good
He
point.
didn't trust him.
Damn it, that's a
You
good
got to
point.
take Sullivan out of that role. Give
Then
it to Anderson.
Okay, Double A.
Give it to Arn Anderson as the head booker. Because at that point, he was the most respected person in that locker room.
100%. I like where this is going. As long as Russo doesn't have complete creative control and he has someone watching over what he's doing.
That's
because
the thing. You let that be you let Russo have head writer control. He writes the storylines, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not the one telling him who's going to be in the matches. That's the problem with Russo's writing, booking, everything. You know, Russo wants to admit that he's a television writer. Okay, be a television writer. Write the storylines no matter who's in the damn role.
And let whoever's booking the matches book it based off where the story wants to go.
Yep.
And Arn would be perfect for that.
And Arn would be able to say, all right, so you're going to have him be this stupid 70s dancer. That doesn't matter. You're going to have him be a fat chick thriller. That's fine. The fans are going to laugh at him, but I'm going to book him in matches that matter. So the fans are going to tune in anyways.
Why are we picking on Mike Awesome?
Because he deserves better.
I think he was okay in Team Canada.
He was. And that's part of, if you let Mike Awesome keep this role, or Lance Storm keep his role, you manage to keep Mike Awesome being built up, and you don't have Russo with the creative control to have him as the 70s thriller.
Oh my God, and could you imagine Elix Skipper?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
You wouldn't have had TNA at this point.
No, that's a fever dream.
Because you still would have had Jeff Jarrett in wherever WCW went.
No, hang on. So let's factor in Jarrett at this point. We're Vince didn't buy WCW. Yep. WCW is now with whoever, we'll say Bischoff. Bischoff and his partners, they're on ESPN. Do you think Jarrett would try to put his way into the back office, but still also try to be a wrestler?
I think that you would have had to have. Jarrett would have gotten booked better with Russo being part of the whole picture.
Right.
So I think you wouldn't have had Jeff trying to push for, we need to focus on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a lot of the thing that a lot of people get wrong about Jeff Jarrett. The reason that Jeff Jarrett was the champion so many times, because Jeff Jarrett was the most dependable person.
Yeah, it was his company. Of course.
Even without that, man, he is the longest tenured person in professional wrestling for that company at that point.
Yeah.
And that's how you put your title on.
And when you took the belt off of him, who did they put it on? The other guys who had been tenured with the company that long.
Yeah.
Because that's what you have to do. People want to argue that Jeff Jarrett was a hog. Jeff Jarrett wasn't a hog, man. He just knew who he could depend on. He knew that he wasn't going to go anywhere when contract time came up. But AJ might. You never know.
Yeah, because if you factor in Elix Skipper getting this push at this point, you can bring in people like basically the top TNA guys like AJ Styles, like
Dude, how much fun will that tag team cruiserweight division have been?
That's one episode I want to bring up. What if the tag team cruiserweight division actually happened? If you factor those guys in, oh my God! And not only
you can factor in the guys that come into the indie scene.
Yeah, and the tag team division, which let's be honest, was very short-sighted around this point. But you have guys like Wildcat Chris Harris and James Storm still have AMW come in, but in WCW. Now hang on, I think they would fit perfectly.
Okay, so we got a problem here.
All right, what's the problem?
Harris was already there.
Shit, yeah, that's a good point.
He was already there. He had already been in the power plant. He was already working on Worldwide. You wouldn't have had AMW. They would have both ended up in the company, but you would have ended up with James Storm and some bullshit Young Stallions tag team or something. I mean, that's how it would have landed. And I hate that for James, but there are going to be some people who fall off to keep this rolling.
Now, would you give Chris Harris he should have been a great singles wrestler, I think.
Harris would have gotten some push. The most fun thing here for me would have been the Natural Born Thrillers.
Ooh.
Being the people who take out the NWO.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That would have been, because eventually you have to have these stables in. And the NWO has to die at some point. Because that March 2001 transition off of TNT was coming. You let the final episode of Nitro have the Natural Born Thrillers be standing there in the ring with all the belts.
And you hear Tony Schiavone, we'll see you on ESPN on such and such night and whatever.
You hear Scott Hudson say that.
Scott Hudson? Ooh.
Yes. Because it's going to be a new era once we get on ESPN. You let the last voice, and that was the last voice that was on WCW television was Scott Hudson's. Because the last WCW television was an episode of Worldwide.
Oh, well, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
A week after that Monday Night Nitro that all of us suffered through. So you let Scott Hudson actually be the last voice on WCW on TNT.
Okay.
And Bret Hart is now established as the veteran of this company that is standing against Vince McMahon, who tried to shove him out of pro wrestling, who killed his brother. Yeah, this company would have been great.
Let's go a little further. Let me ask you this. We've got Bret in the veteran's role. We need to start building some newer talent. Who's stepping up into that main event scene that Bret's going to build up?
As Bret's leaving, you've still got Benoit. We've acknowledged these guys don't leave. So we're going into what I think would have been a lot of fun. A Chuck Palumbo, and you can't do Benoit because Benoit would have been in my U.S. title role. Benoit would have been dealing with Jeff Jarrett, and then Benoit would have transitioned from there into Sean O'Hare. 100% Chris Benoit and Sean O'Hare on ESPN as the first match that people see would have been a phenomenal match. So, who all did we have? We have Mark Jindrak, Chuck Palumbo, Sean O'Hare,
Stan Stasiak.
Sean
Stasiak, his son. Sorry.
Yeah. Was that the main four?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
and there was I can't
I
remember
know
that
Mike Sanders was there.
Yeah, Mike Sanders. That's who I'm thinking of.
Mike Sanders is their mouthpiece. So I guess you really, dude, I guess you would have to go with Palumbo as your world champion.
Okay.
Which, I mean, would be really interesting. And honestly, it would end up more unfortunate for Chris Harris than anybody. Because the similarities in how the two of them look would really hurt Chris Harris.
Yeah.
I will say that we might have still had Abyss show up. So that could have been fun.
Oh.
Ooh.
That is true.
And Abyss would be a good answer for McFoley on the other side of things who jumped over. So he's filling that role for WCW.
Yeah.
As the monster, as their monster.
Yeah. He is the monster. And let's be honest, Chuck Palumbo against the Monster Abyss would have been fun. You've also built up AJ Styles because you go ahead and let him have that same trajectory. Because you're still going to be able to pick up K Quick when they release him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to pick up BG James if you want him. I would have never had the 3 Live Crew. I wouldn't have bothered.
Really?
You would have still. I would have ran with the Filthy Animals.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
That would have been just fine. You let. I probably wouldn't have bothered. You wouldn't have had BG get picked up, honestly.
And another problem with that though, if they picked up K Quick, we wouldn't have never gotten him. Or okay, for those who have lived under a rock, it's our truth. If we wouldn't have got his world title win, unless you have him win the WCW title, off Palumbo.
Would that have been such a bad thing? You could have literally. You take all right. Jeff Jarrett does not get the lineage that he does with the NWA title,
Right.
but honestly, would it have been out of the realm of possibility for Jeff Jarrett or for Eric Bischoff and ESPN to have said, you know what? Let's get up with the NWA. They're the oldest company. We're a sports show. Let's get that title in here.
Huh.
That would have been well within the realm of possibility.
Well, yeah, because that will go back to the lineage of the world title too, because that's who Turner ended up.
That was the WCW title.
Yeah.
And you let it be. So the NWO is dismantled at the end of TNT.
Yes. For good.
We're going to start this new era with the Natural Born Thrillers coming out. You've got Palumbo. Palumbo's our world champion. First night. Straight out the bag. And honestly, I'm going to take that belt off of him real quick. Because as good as he was, he's way too young to be a world champion.
Yeah.
Because you have these natural born thrillers come out there, all with their belts, all arrogant. Mike Sanders talking about how great they are. And then you have, let's go with Booker T. We're going to have Booker T come out on the ramp. I don't think you would have had Hogan stuck around.
Nah, he would have went back to WWE.
Even with the friendship with Bischoff, I think there is that acceptance of financially, it's not possible anymore. So let Hogan go back. So what?
Would you hang on? Would you have let Nash and Hall go back once their contracts expired?
Hall, absolutely. I'd have packed Hall. Honestly, yes. Let them all three go. They had ran their course in WCW, and they were all super high contracts. So let them all go. That's fine.
Now
that happens in wrestling.
Yeah, and that will leave Bret as one of the very few higher contracts.
Your higher paid contracts are Bret Hart, Booker T, Diamond Dallas Page, Scott Steiner. Hey, dude, I'm going to have to keep him on. You know, Goldberg's going to stick around. And Sting.
Okay, yeah.
Like, that's your top guys on this new program. And that's the beauty of Chuck Palumbo is the first world champion you see. you let, and you still have that Sting and Flair match on the last Nitro. On the first, whatever this new company is, Sting comes out with the NWA title and say that Flair gifted it. Because Flair cared about respect. And you have Sting defeat Chuck Palumbo on the first episode of this new television show and drop the big gold and raise the NWA title.
Now, would you have Bret go after Sting since Bret never won the NWA title?
No. Not immediately.
But eventually.
Eventually, I would put Bret in a storyline for a world title, whatever. And Bret would have had an NWA title reign. Honestly,
that would be interesting within itself, too.
Oh, my God. I know what I would have done.
What?
Okay. So, SummerSlam 2002.
Mm-hmm.
You have Shawn Michaels return to the ring.
Yes.
Well, at WCW Halloween Havoc, you let Bret Hart take on Sting for the NWA title and win the NWA title.
Ooh.
Because then the ball's in WWE's court. Are you going to let Shawn Michaels go ahead and win that world title at Survivor Series? Knowing that on the other channel, they've got Bret Hart with it.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
That's
It'd
tough
be a
call.
lot of fun, man. That's the beauty of fantasy booking. You can go down a long run.
It's like, oh, God. Oh, God.
Obviously, you're still going to have some events that have to happen.
Bye-bye, ECW.
ECW would have died. ECW would have still been bought out by the WWE.
Yeah.
And that would have gave them a massive influx of new people. So there's going to be that changes. Raven would have never been an NWA champion.
No. Now hang on. After his, what was it? 2000 Mania 17. Shortly after that, he left.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah.
No, because he was a writer for Raw for a little bit, for WWE Raw.
He showed up in TNA in 2003.
Okay,
June 2003.
So would you have him reappear on WCW? And say Bret's the champion at this time since Bret won the title at Halloween Havoc.
Well, Bret won the title at 2000. Yeah, it was 2002. Yeah. No. I can't see Raven coming in and going straight at Bret Hart. Honestly, at this point, I probably would have pulled the trigger on Jarrett, though. You let Jarrett crack Bret in the head with a guitar. There's the concussion syndrome again.
Oh my God.
But the sad thing is, and honestly, I would never put the NWA title on Bill Goldberg. He would have never held it.
Bill Goldberg.
He could have continued to have his big law, or he could have had his 5-minute matches. He would have still been a mammoth star. We'd slap the U.S. or honestly slap a TV title on his ass and make that the storyline. You let Goldberg run around with the TV title on WCW, and it just be, all right, boys, who wants a shot? Who's next? And every week, Goldberg can destroy people in 5-minute matches.
And that would help kind of boost ratings a little bit for ESPN.
That's right. TV people are going to tune in to see Goldberg's 5-minute matches.
Kind of like an open challenge match each week.
Yes. Instead of an X Division title, it would have been the Cruiserweight title. Okay, yeah. I'm fine with that.
Damn, a young AJ Styles with the Cruiserweight title around his waist. Oh, man.
dude,
That would be great.
you would have had AJ Styles and Air Paris against Kidman and Mysterio for the Cruiserweight Tag Team titles.
Ooh.
You really want me to mess with you? And I'm only going to drop this one in because we're getting into Cruiserweight Tag Team title fantasy booking.
Yeah.
What happens when the SAT shows up?
Damn it.
Because you know who else is going to be in here at this point?
Let me just mark off my fantasy booking already.
You're going to have the Prophecy with
Ooh.
Christopher Daniels.
Oh.
Oh.
Because
Ooh.
Russo really tried to get Daniels over. Honestly, there's your answer in getting Raven the world title. Raven comes in as part of the Prophecy.
And that would boost. That would
Because-
boost Daniels. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Please no kicks to Brett's head in this fantasy booking.
We still would have to have Bret retire at some point. That's still going to have to happen.
I would say 2003, 4-ish would be like a good retirement year for Bret.
When did Bret come back to the WWE?
05 is when he got into the Hall of Fame.
Okay, so I would round up his WCW lineage probably end of 2003. Let that be his swan song. Let him have a good long run with the NWA title because he wins it at okay, so no, I'm not doing 2003. We'll do 2004. So Bret wins the belt at SummerSlam 2000 or at Halloween Havoc 2002.
Yes.
Shawn's back in the WWE at the same time. That's right. So Raven shows up in 2003 begging for a spot. He gets squashed by Goldberg in a 5-minute challenge. Bret tells him that he just doesn't have it anymore.
Ooh.
Raven goes off. We see these vignettes of a prophecy to be told. And you have Bret Hart out there with the NWA title. Christopher Daniels comes out and starts cutting him down. Bald Raven, or not bald, we'll say balding Raven, comes in and lays out Bret with a steel chair to the back, even flow DDT, and runs off with the NWA title. And this is, say, Halloween Havoc 2003. Bret's held the belt for a year at this point. He's just had a match with anybody on the Raw. AJ Styles. I don't care. You know that would be a good match.
Yep.
And then, hell, at this point, we've had Jeff Hardy show up.
Yeah, because his contract would end with WWE
Yeah.
around that time.
So you let the prophecy be Christopher Daniels, Jeff Hardy, and Raven. Exactly, Nick. Raven is the fulfillment of the prophecy. Raven shows up, runs away with the NWA title. You could have Daniels, because Daniels never had to have the world title when he was leading a group.
No.
Right.
Daniels was one of those people that didn't need a title.
Yeah. You have Daniels leading the prophecy with Jeff Hardy, and I guess you would go ahead and have. Would you bring in any of the guys from his ROH run? I mean, you couldn't do Dan Moff. Dan Moff was Jersey All-Pro.
No.
Was more important.
Shit. I'm trying to remember names here, Aaron. Damn it.
Okay, so Xavier? No.
No. God, no. No offense.
So,
Xavier,
yeah.
but
So
no.
no prophecies coming over. You wouldn't have Triple X.
Nope.
You have this new version of the Prophecy with Christopher Daniels, Jeff Hardy, Raven, and Vampiro.
Oh, now hang on. Would you have Vampiro or would you have Abyss?
Why not both?
No, well, I would pick one or the other because I would put a feud between those two, and we would get Monsters Ball out of that eventually.
Eventually, but would it make more sense to put them together first?
Well, yeah, kind of.
It's always easier to split somebody up and have them fight than to have them fight.
True, because you can still have that thing with Would you still have Sinister
Actually,
Minister?
that makes it really great because you let it be. Raven finally wins the NWA title at Starrcade with this group. It's 2003 Starrcade.
Yep.
2004, we let Bret basically have a retirement tour.
Yep.
So he's out of the world title picture. Raven's the world champion. A few months in, you let Raven start getting mouthy with Daniels. Bryan Danielson would have stayed with WWE's developmental at that point, I guess.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have had the new influx of talent from WCW. They would have needed some of those guys still.
Now, hang on. Would you no? Was Cena training with WCW?
No.
Or no? Okay.
He was out in Los Angeles and then eventually came to OVW.
Okay. Never mind.
I guess Samoa Joe would have ended up going to the WWE.
Yeah, as bad as I hate to admit it, we'd have to sacrifice it.
Yeah. But what would have been oh my God. Okay, so I know who's retiring Bret.
Who?
Kurt Angle.
Oh.
Ooh.
Kurt shows up. Kurt can still show up and be the man who retires.
Wait. Kurt's contract didn't end until 2005.
Yeah, we'll let Bret retire. Bret can leave in 2005.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and let him retire in 2005. Then he can go into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2006.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
That lets us go ahead and have that Kurt Angle lineage. Because you let Daniels and Raven turn. Daniels goes with Abyss.
I have another thought. We'll have that feud with Bret, but would Bret be a good reason for Christian Cage to come to WCW?
Oh, it'd be a lot of fun.
Because that's another Canadian.
When did Cage come in? Cage came in November of 2005.
Well, before Angle. I think it was a little bit before Angle. I think. It was 2005, I know, because he was at Mania in 2005. So, I think it was that summer.
Did he come in that summer?
I think it was that summer. I think.
Maybe. But anyway, yeah, he came in a little bit before Angle. Dude, he had an NWA title reign before Angle showed up.
Exactly. So, that would be...
Yeah.
Angle came in 2006.
Yeah.
Christian came in November of 2005.
Then would you have Bret do the kind of the passing of the torch to Christian Cage, giving Christian his singles run that he had in TNA?
I mean, you wouldn't have to have Bret passing the torch. You could. What could be a lot of fun is having it be Bret kind of takes Christian under his wing.
Yeah.
Not as much of Sting and Darby, with Sting being too old to still work full matches.
Right.
But you have that as somebody to take the load off Bret. You let those two work together, and then you let Christian turn on him.
And
the story of Bret's career could be everybody turns on him except for his family. That could be why he, the one time that he pulled the trigger on turning on somebody else was his NWO run. That would make hilarious. You can still have him go back to the WWE and retire. If you want to go ahead and have him go into the WWE's Hall of Fame in 2005, we can swap the Angle thing. That's fine. You can have him be retired. So he went into the WWE Hall of Fame in 05?
05, no, 06. I'm sorry. It was 06.
Okay, 06. So they would let Christian retire him.
Yeah.
Let Christian be took under Bret's wing, and let that be who Christian wins the NWA title from. Because he cheats to do it. And that be why Sting comes at him.
Ooh, because it's back to the lineage.
Yep. Back to the NWA lineage. The TNA lineage. We've fixed everything in one night.
Problem solved.
Yep.
Now, who's got the time machine to do this?
Yeah. Let me go back in time. Yeah. I would like to go back. I was at a Monday Nitro in, I want to say 2000, I think, in Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually snuck down to where catering was and got a picture of Hogan talking with Russo. Yeah. Like, you could have fixed so many things if you had just accepted the different roles. And it's like I've always said, man, everybody has to have a role in the story.
Yeah,
Right.
That's why we kind of went on the side tangents there for a moment. Well, this happened. Well, this happened.
You have to connect those other strings to let stuff happen.
So,
unfortunately, the sad thing is, you still have Eddie pass away. Eddie doesn't hold the WWE. I mean, you can have Eddie go to the WWE. Still, Eddie doesn't have to be part of the TNA WCW Bret lineage.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Benoit goes too, because that's the nature of it. You have new contracts come in, people go out.
CZ, what do you think about all this, buddy?
Man, I'm just enjoying the conversation.
This is Rob Kammer of the Confusion Wrestling Podcast. I unfortunately cannot make my regular co-hosting gig of the Joe Monroe Show this evening because I am vacationing in sunny Salem, Massachusetts, amplifying my already great wizarding powers. That reminds me, I've heard of some issues with an alleged wizard, CZ, after he's attempted to poach a handful of my talent, really. I just wanted to know that I know nothing about this. I am just in Salem enjoying the sights and history and cashing in an old gambling debt.
Oh my!
What?
First things first.
There's two wizards now?
No, he is a
I thought
fake
it said-
wizard, 100%. In fact, I have it on good authority that Rob is a duck, he floats, and he should therefore be burned like a witch by the Salem witches. I'm just throwing that out there. But I would settle if they turned him into a newt. I don't care if he gets better. Just turn him into a newt for a little bit.
Is there a podcast? Apparently.
You're a wizard, Terry.
God, you and Rob, Rob's just about as bad as Tanner.
No, do you hang out with anybody that is like actually normal?
No.
Because you've got your little brother, the special needs Mark Monroe.
Yeah.
You've got this jackass who thinks he's a wizard. You've got some guy who calls himself a Professor Bear. How the hell does a professor get his degree in the first place? How does he become a professor?
And he's never wrong, folks.
I mean,
dude, you know, I welcome oddities in my life, so there you go.
What is it? La dee da. Yeah. The good old days of the oddities.
Yes. But you know, Rob is really starting to sound like Tanner. I'm sorry.
Well,
maybe Tanner has his own wizard. Who knows nowadays? But
you know, Tanner, I feel like part of Tanner's problem is that he wishes that he had a beard as well manicured as yours, but it looks more like the mess that is CZ's.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Shots at both of you in one. Best spirited podcaster. Come on.
Oh, Jesus.
That's not
Jesus.
me. That's
Jesus.
not me. That's not my line.
No, Jesus. No. Don't bring that guy up in here. Don't.
Oh no, Crander ain't the best podcasting either.
Okay, thank God. Thank God. We're all in agreement with that one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I think
He's third rate.
we solved the Bret Hart issue. We've saved professional wrestling.
We have.
So before we leave, I want to give a big thank you to Till 5 Wrestling and Notorious ATB. And as spoiled, I will be on their next episode, which is going to be a lot of fun.
You will. It's going to be a lot of fun. We always do before our big live tournaments. We do a Forbidden Pod where we do things different. And I decided that to hell with it, we're just going to let me and Joe do the Forbidden Pod.
Sorry, if you guys are the oddities, then CZ is go.
I got dibs on Kurgan. I guess that makes you Luna Vachon, Joe. Is that because you still?
I'll take it. Fuck it.
A bitch.
I'll take it. I like Luna Vachon. Oh God. So we may bring you back. You know what? I think I want to rename this. If we bring this back, I may say Notorious Booking. I like the name of that.
It works for me.
Notorious Booking with ATB. We may bring that back for a segment. But this has been fun. This has been really fun. I appreciate you coming on, ATB. Is there any other people aside from Green Hemp you want to shout out?
I do want to give a shout out to our sponsors at Stover's Liquidation.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, our good friends at the Cookville location, because they don't get as much love as Oak Ridge on a regular show. You can go see them at 452 West Broad Street in Cookville, Tennessee at 38501. They have got wholesale home improvement, renovation, and liquidation. Truckload quantities are available. You can go online at www.stoversliquidation.com. They're closed on Sundays. They're open from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. And they're available 24 hours right there online, just like Joe Monroe is.
Exactly. CZ, go ahead and tell the people where else they can find you except for the podcasting Hogwarts.
No podcasting Hogwarts. You can find me over on Card Subject to Change most Sundays at 6:30. We are having a special event tomorrow in Des Moines, Iowa.
Thanks, Nick. That makes you Luna then.
Yeah,
Nick Bull,
Nick
Luna
gets the
Vachon.
Luna title.
We are so there is a oh man, Nick, why did you do that? You fried my brain. There is a benefit show for the Hadley family in Des Moines, Iowa this Saturday tomorrow. They lost one of their children, so all of the wrestling community of Iowa, 6 of the top promotions coming together for what they're calling Convergence, Heroes for Hudson, and my friends at the 2 Count Wrestling podcast, 2 Count where comedy beats wrestling, and my co-host on Wrestling with Fitness, who is also the host of Shotgun Wrestling Radio, Zach Takis, as well as Nick and I will be doing a Podcasts Collide show tomorrow at 5:45 Central Time. So be on the lookout for that. And then, of course, Wrestling with Fitness. We have our next monthly episode this coming Wednesday where I talk about how I'm not losing any weight and I still look ugly.
Foreign objects!
No, I'm excited for another episode of Wrestling with Fitness. Helps keep me accountable. And, you just got to do your best work, right?
Right. CZ, this is what you're going to say at the end of this fitness challenge.
I will rule you!
That's exactly what you're going to say, my friend. All right. Well, good show, guys. Thank you, Crystal. Oh, God. Yes. Nick Bull with another ICP.
Look,
I'm Shaggy
no. Nobody gets to be ICP. This means we still get to hang out with the clowns.
So?
No. So Nick doesn't get that title.
Okay.
Nick's
fine.
still Luna.
Nick's still
We
Luna.
still get ICP in our corner.
All right. Well, you know what? I think I am going to respond to just Incredible. If he was ever a professional wrestler, this would be his gimmick.
I'm the trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring, and then I start eating garbage.
Because that's what he is garbage. Now, let me go ahead and shout out a few of my I can't talk tonight. A few great folks here. Phenomenal Finds ATL. If you're looking for anything retro, the wrestling, sports, anything like that, check out phenomenalfindsatl.com. Special shout out to Charms Photos, Crystal, who is a wonderful person and is a great photographer. Go check her photos out, and she might help you with some photo bookings. Also, let's not forget, and I don't know why people have not subscribed to this, the Wrestling Society Network. That's right. The Wrestling Society Network was built by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. You can check out the Wrestling Society Network on Hulu. Not Hulu. Jesus Christ. We haven't gotten that big sign. Roku. Amazon, Fire Stick, all social media outlets, YouTube, Facebook. Apparently, the Professor Bear has a Twitch and a TikTok now.
Look,
so watch out, Aaron.
Hey, let me tell you, I actually watched Bear's interview today with Jesus Rodriguez.
That is true.
And it was actually really informative, really good interview. I actually became a fan of the former Ricardo from there.
Oh my God, I'm the Jackal.
All right, we'll give you that. Nick gets to be the Jackal.
He actually kind of looks like
you know what? You know who can be Luna?
Who?
Tan.
That's giving him too much. Anyways,
here you go.
Anyways, but a special shout out to them, and I want to give a very special shout out to my wife, because as everybody,
my wife.
I love my wife. We started another show called From Page to Popcorn, where we compare novels that were turned into motion pictures, and we discuss that. Our very first episode is up where we talk about Jurassic Park, which, can you guys believe that not many people know that was a book before the movie?
Well, I mean, people are dumb and they like to have stuff spoon-fed to them, so they don't realize that Michael Crichton was ever a writer.
Yeah, just incredible. Anyways,
here we are.
Yeah. But other than that, I will see you all very, very soon. Aaron, tell them about this little tag team tournament we got going on.
All right. So September 1st and 2nd, it is going to be cross-aired on Till 5 and Wrestling Society Network. We're going to be doing a 2-night tournament of the greatest tag teams all time of professional wrestling. And it is stacked. We've got LOD, we've got APA, Demolition, Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team. All, if you think that somebody is a great tag team, they're probably in the brackets.
Yeah. You said Demolition, and CZ's ears perked up.
I tell you what, CZ, I will go so far as to tell you who is exactly in this tournament. So on night 1, we've got the modern era. We're going to run with...
Wait. I thought night 1 was the classic era.
You're right. It is, because Danny and Juice, our good friends at Sharpshooters, have actually agreed to not do their regular Tuesday night show so they can partake in both nights of the tournament. My bad. We've got a lot of moving pieces on this one. We've got 8 people. And I think we had, was it like 200 votes in all the polls and brackets?
It was crazy.
It was insane to keep up with. But we have Demolition, LOD, the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, the Steiner Brothers, Harlem Heat, the Hart Foundation, the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express, Edge and Christian, the Brain Busters, Terry Gordy and Steve Williams, the Freebirds, the Outsiders, the Rock and Sock Connection, and the APA.
Night 1's going to be hell.
You think that's bad?
Nick's saying sign cards subject to change.
You can find us on Facebook at Till 5 Wrestling. The page, the event invite is right there. So, and then when we flip over to the modern bracket, which I think is equally as hard, because you've got America's Most Wanted, The New Day, The Young Bucks, FTR, The Briscoes, Beer Money, The New Age Outlaws, because of a loophole they could be in either bracket, thanks to the Voodoo Kin Mafia.
Yeah.
The Lucha Bros, the Usos, Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team, the Motor City Machine Guns, LAX, American Wolves, DX, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the Undisputed Era, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why Booker T and Goldust actually made the tournament.
Yeah, how did that happen? I
don't
wonder.
know. I don't know. They had enough votes, and not just make the tournament. They weren't even in the poll to determine if, like, a tiebreaker. That's Stenerico and Undisputed Era.
Oh my God.
It is, they had enough votes to get in. They were, I think they ended up on, what, 3% of the brackets? Or 3% of the lists, which is enough to get you on. That's all you had to do because of all the varying people from the modern era.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Have they really left that much of an impression on people?
Let me tell you some of the people that made this, that were sent in. Let's be honest. They're probably more known than the Best Friends. They probably are. London and Kendrick, they beat out. The Righteous, the Medics, Nexus, Muddy Waters, Alpha Academy, Street Profits, Rated RKO.
That's shocking.
I was really heartbroken that they got more votes than the Kings of Wrestling.
That's very sad.
And then all the stupid marks on Facebook didn't vote Kings of Wrestling in to the tournament anyway.
Oh my God. But instead we got Goldust
and Booker T are in. Part of the problem is my co-host mother put them on her list immediately, and that immediately got them one of the brackets or one of the lists they're in. So from there, it just starts building. I can't remember. Did Professor Bayer put them on his? Probably.
Oh my God. I need to work.
This is what I work with, children. At least my co-host mother can manage a vapor store.
Oh. Poor ATB here is going to be like Goldust by the first line. Do.
Yeah. I'm going to go into a conniption here, man. But this is going to be, the tournament's going to be so much fun. Hey, if Dan shows up, he might still be on a wine fit sabbatical. Who knows? I do hear there are some rumblings that there's going to be some sort of wager on our episode.
Oh, yeah. I've heard rumblings that too. You know,
I hear that there's either going to be a new Juggalo for your show in October, or there's going to be some Mark Monroe hunting.
I guess so. It's Mark. It's not me. I could have cared less, so I just put Mark in there instead of myself. Am I a bad brother for doing that? Probably, but I don't care.
You know what? Some people can be sacrificed. That's how it works.
That's usually how it works.
If capitalism has taught me anything, some people have to be sacrificed.
And if his Fallout has taught me anything, every man for himself. Anyways, so with that being
Tan for himself, come on.
Oh Jesus! All right,
Just Tan Credible is gonna have to pay for his actions with his little rant.
Just Tan.
I love Tan, but let's be honest, Just Tan Credible has whined and moaned ever since we started the show. About every 3 months, he'll come in and be like, "You know what? I've had enough of this fucking bullshit." Wow. So here we are. It's time for Just Incredible to just suck it up and deal. Have a seat. Take a rest. Just chill, guy. It's okay.
Relax, guy.
Relax. Or else we might have to unalive Just Incredible.
Oh boy. Go ahead and say it, CZ.
What?
Say it. That's your saying. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. All right. Well, ATB, thank you for showing up. We appreciate you, man. We'll definitely have you back on. CZ, next week, back to the round table. ATB, you might want to be a part of it. We're going to be talking about which game was better on N64, the WCW games or the WWF games?
Okay, can I break the fourth wall for a minute?
Just for a minute.
Okay. So, Notorious ATB is Aaron Bird. Aaron Bird has a lovely wife named Crystal Bird who manages to tune in and watch everything with us and comment and have a good time because she thinks that I'm funny. I think I'm funny. If you don't think I'm funny, then you can touch grass and you're a stupid Mark.
No, not you. Not you. Sorry. Mark got a little offended. It's okay.
Yeah, well, you know what?
He'll be all right. Oh my God. All right. Well,
all right. So wait. I'm sorry. I completely spaced out. What was your show next week? Roundtable on video games.
Next week, on the No Sell Roundtable, we're going to talk about which company dominated the N64 console, WCW or WWF.
Well, that's not even a debate.
Yeah, well, we'll save it if you want to come on, or comment if you want to come on. We'll find out next week on what that's going to be. So until next time, thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, if you love professional wrestling, always support it. Spread the love around. But if you're going to be a troll and an idiot, just like Just Tan Credible, shut up and enjoy professional wrestling. That's all I got to say to you all. Thank you and have a good night.
Did you like the video? Don't forget to go like, subscribe, and follow us on all of our social media outlets. We'll see you next time.